Imagine this. It's Sunday night, you haven't planned Monday's class yet, your inbox has 4,700 emails from students, and you have no idea what's on your own calendar tomorrow. Now imagine, your AI assistant already knows all of this. It drafted a reply to those emails, it sent your students a study reminder on Telegram, and it compiled your entire Monday morning briefing automatically. You didn't type a single word. That's not a dream, that's OpenClaw, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to set it up. Okay, so what actually is OpenClaw? Well, you have used agents like ChatGPT or Claude, right? Well, they are brilliant, but the real problem with them is every time you close the tab, they forget you exist. You have to re-explain your project, your name, your context, every time, everything again. But the thing with OpenClaw is different. Well, think of it like this. ChatGPT is a brain in a jar. Smart but isolated. OpenClaw takes that same brain and connects it to your actual world. Your files, your email, your calendar, your Telegram, your terminal. It can read files, send messages, schedule tasks, and it remembers you because its memory is stored locally right on the server. Now, why should a teacher or student care? For teachers, imagine your AI assistant checking your Google Calendar every morning, compiling the day's agenda and sending it to you on your WhatsApp before you even make tea. For students, imagine a bot that pings you on Telegram every evening. Hey, you have a physics test in 3 days. Here's a 5-point revision summary. No prompt needed, it just runs. And the best part, OpenClaw is open source and completely free to use. You just need access to the AI model API keys like Claude or ChatGPT, and you can start with free tier models. So now let's install OpenClaw into our systems. And if you are on Windows, which I assume most of you probably are, the installation is just one line of command. So for this, we need to go to OpenClaw's official website, openclaw.ai, go to the docs section, click on the install tab, and when you scroll down, you will see this command under recommended installer script for Windows PowerShell. Well, you need to copy this command. Now I'll paste this command here and click enter. So as you can see, it's asking for permission regarding node.js. Now the thing is, OpenClaw requires node.js installed on your system if you need to install it. But the thing with this command is that it will automatically scan your system for node.js, and if it's installed, well and good. But if it's not, then it will automatically install it without needing manual intervention. From here, I'll click yes, quick start, and I'll choose my model Gemini, and I have a Google Gemini API key. So let me quickly copy my API key and paste it here. So remember, when you copy your API key, you need to press Ctrl plus Shift plus V in order to paste it. Hit enter. And it has set my default model to Google Gemini 3.1 Pro Preview. If you want to change it, you can. So I'll keep it for now. I'll change it later. And you need to select your channel, and here you can connect your OpenClaw with several apps like iMessage, Google Chat, or Telegram. Here Telegram and WhatsApp, but I am skipping it for now. And provider, I'll skip for now. Configure skills now, yes. No, let me skip it for now. Press select, press space to select, enter to submit. So it means I'll have to select one skill at least. So let me select the Gemini skill and GitHub. Then I'll hit enter. Set Google Places API key for Go Places. No, not for now. OpenAI key for OpenAI Whisper. No. Set 11 Labs API key. No. Enable hook, skip for now. And now it's installing the gateway service, so let me wait for the installation. And as you can see that the gateway service is now installed. So how do you want to hatch your agent? So I'll click hatch in terminal. And you can see that the OpenClaw CLI is now set up. Let me type something. Hello OpenClaw. So now as you can see on my screen that OpenClaw has been installed and gateway service has been enabled. So if I go down, you can see that I typed a message in the OpenClaw CLI command, hello OpenClaw, and it responded me and it's asking me what should I call you and who are you. So let me give it a name. So you are Superbot and I am Nidhish. So now you can see that I have named it Superbot. So now it will recognize itself as Superbot and it will recognize me as Nidhish as I have passed my name to it. So this is it. So now you successfully installed OpenClaw on your system. From now on, we'll see what all we can do with this. We'll create skills, automate tasks, and many more things. So let's move on. So let me give you a brief overview of the gateway dashboard. So this is my new session tab. I hit this whenever I want to start a fresh task without mixing it up with my previous conversations. This is the chat section. This is where I talk to my agent directly in plain English and get things done. The overview section, I come here first to see my whole setup is running at a glance. An activity section, which I check to see exactly what my agent has been doing behind the scenes. The instances section, which is used to manage different running environments like keeping my dev and production agents separate. The sessions tab, which is my history log, I can go back and revisit or audit any past conversation my agent had. The usage tab, where I can keep an eye so my API calls don't silently spiral out of control. The Cron Jobs section, where I set up all my automated tasks that run on a schedule without me lifting a finger. Now moving on to the agents tab, here I can define each of my agents here, giving them their own personality, model and tool access. The skills tab, where I can install plugins like Gmail or Google and give them to my agent to enable real world abilities. The notes tab, which is used for managing multiple sub-processes. And the dreaming tab, where my agent can think in the background, it can organize its memory. And the settings section, where I can store all my API keys, gateway config and security tokens. Okay, this is important and I'm going to be completely honest with you. You should not install OpenClaw on your personal machine due to significant security risks associated with giving an AI agent a high-level system access. Think about this. What can OpenClaw do? It can access your files, it can read them, it can modify them, it can run commands on your terminal, it can access your browser, read your emails. That's significant power. And if the agent is compromised or it makes a mistake, it can affect your entire personal system. That's why the recommended setup is a VPS, a virtual private server. A VPS is basically a small computer in the cloud running 24/7, completely isolated from your personal files. Here's why it's better for teachers and students specifically. First, it's always on. Your laptop goes to sleep, your VPS doesn't. Second, your personal files are safe. If the agent is compromised, the blast radius stays contained to the VPS, not your personal machine. Third, it's cheap. A basic VPS starts at around $750 per month on providers like Hostinger. That's less than a Netflix subscription and you get a 24/7 AI assistant in return. For students, if cost is a concern, you can always use free tier VPS services like Google Cloud or Oracle Cloud. Use the VPS just to run the OpenClaw dashboard. That's it. Skills in OpenClaw are like plugins. They give your agent new abilities. So in this example, I'm going to create a skill that will allow my agent to read a PDF of a chapter and create a detailed summarized report in the same format and store it directly into my system. So here's how to do this. So now I'm going to paste the prompt for creating a skill. So this prompt says, create a skill that accepts two inputs, a PDF file path and a destination folder path provided by the user. Read the PDF, extract its full text and generate a structured summary covering key concepts, main points and important takeaways from the chapter. Format the summary as a clean PDF report with sections for overview, key concepts and chapter highlights. Save the report as a .pdf file named after the original PDF, example chapter1summary.pdf at the user provided destination path. Confirm successful file creation and return the output part to the user. So when I hit enter, now OpenClaw will create this skill. So now as you can see that this skill has been successfully created, and it has been added in the skill section or plugin skill section. And what all is there? It contains the skill.md file, scripts extract.py, which helps it extract full text from the PDF. So now I'm going to test it. So let me paste my prompt here. So this prompt says that read the PDF, chapter 1 chem.pdf stored in desktop, and create a detailed summary of the chapter and store it in desktop. So I have a PDF of the class 10 chemistry chapter 1 stored in my desktop, and I wanted to read it and create a summary for that. So when I hit enter, so now as you can see that it has completed generating the summary. And if I open the generated summary, you can see that it has all the important sections in it: overview, key concepts, chapter highlights, and chapter summary. So you saw how easy this was, and I hope you also saw how it had complete access to my system. It could read the file stored in my system, and it could even write a file into my system. And this is what I talked to you about when I was explaining to you why you should run it in a VPS, not on your personal machine. Well, apart from that, you can see that we did not need to write any Python code or anything. We just needed to describe what we want, and it was able to perform the task. Okay, so this one is my favorite feature, Cron Jobs. Your AI assistant does not require you to type commands. OpenClaw's Cron system allows you to schedule tasks that run automatically. Daily reports, weekly summaries, content creation, whatever you want. Let me show you a perfect student use case. So for this example, we are going to create a cron job which will allow OpenClaw to read your emails and search for emails related to assignment submission deadlines or scheduled classes or scheduled tests, and automatically add them to your Google Calendar, as well as send it to you on Slack or any other messaging channel. So the important part is, in order to do this, we need to connect our OpenClaw with Slack or any other messaging channel, and also authenticate it with Google. Since this is a long process, I will not be covering it in this video, but if you want me to cover it, you can comment down below and I'll make a separate video on that. So for now, let's get started with this. So as I told you, I have already connected my Slack and Google account with OpenClaw, which reads create a cron job for me that reads my emails, searches for any deadlines, class schedule or test dates, and informs me on Slack along with adding deadlines to Google Calendar at 5:03 p.m. every day. So I am keeping the time as 5:03 p.m. since it's going to get past it. So I'm keeping the time as 5:03 p.m. You can keep at whatever time you want for it to repeat the job every day. So as you can see, it has created the cron job, and every day at 5:03 p.m. it will add the deadline to my Google Calendar and also send a message to me on Slack regarding any deadlines for assignment submissions or class tests scheduled or the classes scheduled. So as you can see, I have these mails. First one is this regarding physics class. Physics class is scheduled tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. One is regarding assignment submission deadline, where the deadline is 4 June. And one mail is regarding maths class on 3rd June at 5:30 p.m. So it will automatically read these emails and it will search for keywords like submission deadline or class schedule, and it will automatically add them to my Google Calendar. And if you go to the cron job section, you can see that it has created a cron job which will use the Gog skill to read my recent unread emails and analyze these emails for any deadlines, class schedules or test dates, and then use this same skill to identify any deadlines or test dates, and then add it to my Google Calendar and send a summary of the schedule and deadlines to me on Slack using the message tool. And here you can see that it has added these schedules to my Google Calendar. Physics class 11 a.m. to 12 p.m, maths class 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m, and assignment submission 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And I already showed you in my email that these timings are correct, perfectly correct. And you can see I have also received a message from OpenClaw regarding a summary of my emails for the maths class, physics class, and the assignment submission deadline. Okay, so I wouldn't be doing justice to you if I only showed you the good stuff. OpenClaw has some real downsides. Let me be straightforward with you. The first and the biggest downside is that the API costs shoot up. Remember what I told you, that OpenClaw itself is free, but it uses AI model API keys like Gemini, GPT, or Claude, which cost money per message. So if you run 10 cron jobs every hour, your API bill will shoot up. Therefore, I always suggest you to set a spending limit on your API dashboard. The next disadvantage is that it is not fully beginner friendly yet. The basic setup is doable for anyone, but advanced multi-agent configurations, they require real technical knowledge. The learning curve is real. Third disadvantage is that it needs constant internet. OpenClaw talks to cloud AI models. No internet, no agent. If your VPS goes down, your automations stop. These are real limitations, but honestly, for education-related purposes, it's difficult to find a better alternative for now. So to summarize what we learned today, OpenClaw is a free, self-hosted AI agent that connects to your real worlds. Your files, your email, your calendar, your messaging apps, it can connect to anything. We also learned how to install OpenClaw using one PowerShell command, explored the OpenClaw gateway dashboard, saw why hosting it on a VPS is better than using a personal computer, created a skill that can summarize a chapter for you, set up an automated cron job reminder for students, and also learned about the downsides. Now, here's your homework. I want you to comment down one task that you had automate with OpenClaw, whether it can be reminders or providing study summaries or anything. I'm curious to know about it. And if you learned anything from this video, I want you to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so that we can come up with more such videos. Till then, happy learning.